It's 2 p.m. and my brother's still sleeping, so I'm gonna wake him up. Bro, you gotta wake up. Come on. Come on, don't do that. You don't do that.
Please do me a favor and just picture yourself getting murdered for a moment. That's all that there is to this exercise. I just want you dead. But if you were gonna get murdered, how would you like it to happen? Would you like to get stabbed? Would you like to get shot? How about a little bit of strangling? I could imagine the last thing on your mind as well would be, who actually murdered me? Could it have been a friend? Could it have even been a lover? Maybe it's my dad. But your last thought certainly wouldn't be, it's a YouTuber. And while he's choking you unconscious, he's telling you should have liked and subscribed. This situation's kinda similar, but nowhere near as humorous.
So, fortunately enough, my dad took me out and he got me a PS2 and he got me a copy of Vice City. And I came home and started playing it and I was like, this is great, how do I save? How do I save? And I realised I don't have a memory card. So, I had to walk back in to this very room, actually, to this living room, which is decked out to look like Christmas. It's literally the only room in the house that is. So if I do that... Look at that.
Meet Vote Saxon, a retro Irish or Scottish YouTuber, I'm not sure which, it doesn't really matter, they're both the same, who's been accused of murder. And the way that he allegedly committed this murder, or at least allegedly the way that he got away with it for so long, was by faking a 6-hour live stream while he was committing the act. But I might be jumping ahead of myself, I should give you an accurate timeline of events. Stephen McCall, our alleged murderer, is the boyfriend of a woman named Natalie McCallany. Now Stephen is what I would personally describe as a grown man-child, whose hobbies seem to mainly focus on collecting toys and playing old school video games. Natalie, on the other hand, for all intents and purposes, seems like your normal 32-year-old who is teeing up for the next chapter of her life, or was because she was 15 weeks pregnant at the time of her murder, unfortunately. You see what I'm starting to get at? This one over here is too focused on his own selfish interests, but this one over here is getting ready for the burden of responsibility of raising a living being. And much like a wine-drinking mom who starts her own murder podcast, my speculation is also too rampant and horny. If I were to take shots at a wild guess in the sky what the motive could be, I'd put my bottom dollar on the fact that Stephen wasn't ready to take on that responsibility. So instead of doing the adult thing and abandoning your family like a man, and occasionally sending them a postcard from Tijuana, he decided to take the coward's way out and end Natalie's life, allegedly. So we would have ever so much more time for his Doctor Who reviews and playing with his toys. Once this decision was allegedly made by Stephen, he needed a way to cover for himself. And thus that leads us to event of the fake live stream. Now during Natalie's murder, Stephen was allegedly live streaming. And this is the one time I have to say allegedly and actually mean it, because the live stream was proven to be fake. And it was in fact a pre-recorded stream which he had done days earlier.
Because as he explains, he was live streaming the night that it happened. So that's it, right? Hands are clean, done deal with him. Except, no, not at all, because as it turns out, that live stream was pre-recorded days earlier, even though he had tried to make it appear live to his audience.
What are we doing tonight? Well, because this streaming software is kind of up the left, it means I can't check the live chat. I could use my phone to dip in every now and again and check it, but I've decided that I kind of hate live streams where people just sit and read comments and go, oh my god, yes, ask me questions, better.
So now McCullough's new alibi is that he was just home, drinking alone, and he fell asleep.
As you heard in that Philip DeFranco segment I just played for you, he's clearly lying to his chat about actually being live, making silly excuses that don't make much sense. Which would make sense in some circumstances, as I do believe some streamers do pre-record their lives from time to time in order to give themselves a break. As we all know, being a streamer is probably the hardest job you can do. It takes an extreme lot of mental anguish to sit in front of your computer for 8 hours a day reacting to other people's videos that they put hard time, effort, and money into. And then occasionally going, oh wow, geez, I can't believe it. And then stuffing your face with £50 worth of Uber Eats. But on the night of a murder seems very suspicious. And then to have your follow-up alibi after you lied to the police be that you were at home drinking alone, well, all I can say to that is it's aish, not that good, my brother. So thus far, my internet detectives, we've established his motive. We've established that he's had a fake alibi. Surely we don't have any more damning evidence. Oh wait, Jesus Christ, we do.
Like the detectives claim that they can track his movements from the murder scene back to his home using CCTV footage from a bus and the account of a taxi driver, with McCullough allegedly shown wearing a yellow glove under a black glove while handing change to the driver, which looks really bad for him since the print of a yellow cleaning glove was found in some blood at the scene.
Maybe I should become one of those like famous detectives that everybody knows from fiction, because I'm super good at putting this entire crime scene together. And I have to have like one of those characteristics that I have to ram down your throat constantly. Like Sherlock Holmes is apparently a superhuman level of intuition. Or beyond blanks is the fact that he's gay. Speaking of ramming things down your throat. Now I do declare that the murder suspect was in fact a 50-year-old man-child. Excuse me for a moment. I'm gay. Now where were we in this case of mine? You took the bus with the yellow glove, but you left the other glove at the murder of the scene. Excuse me a moment, just again. I enjoy cock and penis. They're way more subtle with it in Knives Out. I just like the idea of them going full J.K. Rowling and appealing to any crowd except for trans people, just because it makes them look a little bit more progressive. Also, don't diss my boy Beyonce. I only make fun of him because I love him. At least in the first movie. The second one was, stanky. So we have the motive, we have the alibi in absolute shambles, and now we know the method in which it was done. And surely it can't get any worse, but this moron just seems to find a way.
He also allegedly kept in contact with the McNally family during the weeks that followed, even leaving his phone in their residence and recording 40 minutes of audio to discreetly see if they suspected him of committing the murder. All of which really putting this specific moment from his so-called live stream in a new light.
So I like sticking to just doing crimes in a video game. Keeps things simple, mate.
And that's without mentioning this maybe intentional, maybe not intentional flub.
Abso-notly. Absolutely.
Because this dude lives his entire life behind his screen and has no concept of reality, he thought he was in a 1950s spy thriller and left his goddamn cell phone at the victim's parents' house. Kids, can I please give you a reality check? Because for some reason, I don't know how, a lot of you are tech illiterate. These things are listening to you. These things can be tracked. We have given up certain rights to our privacy by taking on these incredibly convenient pieces of equipment. I know when I type in Big Booty Warriors Latina 25, someone else is watching it alongside me. I'm cool with me having a watch-along party while I'm busting one. That is the reality of these devices. So I shouldn't be saying this. But if you're gonna commit murder, you shouldn't be using your actual cell phone as a way of finding out if the police know anything about you. Because the police can get a warrant to track your cell phone usage and find out where it was left. Then they can find out where you were at the time and determine, oh, he left it at the house. Judge, this is kind of weird. Can we please get like a subpoena on this guy's phone? Yes, here you go. Oh, this moron was recording it. Why would he want to record the victim's parents? I mean, we suspect him anyway. We know his motive. We know the method in which he did it. He's already been caught lying to us once. So I guess this is kind of just the nail in the coffin. Now, I do have to preface all of this again with allegedly. This is pure speculation from me, based on the extremely obvious events he has placed before us. You can come to your own conclusion. Conclusion is he's the murderer. But be careful not to shout that too loud on the rooftops, as he is well within his legal rights to sue you, as nothing has been proven yet. Even though the evidence is damning. And personally, I'm not willing to get sued for the very little money that I have, and even if I'm lucky enough to win, what is he gonna give me? I have no use for Mandalorian plushies. I'm a grown man. I like skateboarding and ice cream. That's all I have to say on the matter. I love the modern world. We get access to some crazy things from time to time, and I just want to say, legally you have to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Love you all. Bye bye.